Dead Girl by Elizabeth Scott. This is actually a young adult novel. I was in a reading slump for a couple of months, and this book actually broke me out of that. It wasn't until after I had read it that I discovered that it was a young adult novel, that the author writes exclusively young adult books. I'll make this review quick. I do want to make a habit of posting on this channel, and I want to make sure that all my videos remain super bite-sized. This book is about a young girl who has been held captive by a pedophile for several years. She is approaching age 14 or 15 when that's where the book starts, and so she's maturing out of his, she's maturing out of what would be considered to be his ideal as a pedophile, which is like little girl, young little girl. He starves her to keep her body small. He starves her to inhibit her period. It did not occur to me that it was a young adult book because the themes feel so adult to me. I would say that the language of the book is really simple. It was actually perfect for getting me out of my reading slump. I feel like a lot of what I reach for is really dense in its language or in its meaning. This book felt like it was kind of just the resounding thoughts of a little girl. I think this book tackled a lot of complexity in a really elegant way. The narrator, I think, is someone you're invited to empathize with because of her victimhood. But she presents so many complicated human feelings, and she is doing what she has to do to try and survive. The premise of this book and what really drives the plot is that this narrator's captor is asking her to go and find another little girl for him to kidnap. As you know, the narrator is, like I said, a girl that's turning into a woman. You know, the pedophile prefers his victims to be in the 5-year-old to 8 range. It's an extremely disturbing premise. Like I said, there's a ton of complexity there. As the narrator is trying to survive, that she's trying to imagine the possibility that she could be free from her captor if she finds another victim for him. The way that the author handled the narrator reconciling that, having to subject another child, another girl, to the brutality that she has been experiencing for so long. It was handled really beautifully. I came across the book on Pinterest. I thought the title was really interesting, and once I read a synopsis of the book, I was like, I absolutely have to read it. I purchased it on Kindle. I read it on my phone. I think I finished it in 2 days, just 2 different sittings of reading. This book was enormously enjoyable to read. Maybe that sounds strange to say, given the violence of the content, but there's something very lush about the narrator's interior world in the midst of the confines and hell that she's living in. This was a beautiful book. I feel really grateful to have come across it. It reminds me in a way, with its language, that sometimes less can be more.